Hello there, it's David here from Dingle Lane and welcome to Trade Talk. This is the session where I talk to very particular professions, very particular trades, very particular occupations, and give you some ideas to help you with income, cash flow, business development, tax saving ideas, that kind of stuff, but give very much particular professions, particular trades. Now, today I want to talk to conveyancers and estate agents, people involved in the sales of property, basically. Now, at the moment, we all know that with COVID-19, you guys are having a really tough time. People aren't coming in through the door, they're not coming out to the shops, they're not coming out and doing the viewings. The mortgage lenders are, they're not giving the money out particularly because people's incomes are up the chute. House prices are, goodness knows where they're going at the moment, yada, 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 yada. You know, these are all issues you're very familiar with. You're in the middle of all of that. So I got my thinking hat on and thought, well, how can I help you guys get some cash in now, or at least reasonably promptly, but also build in some more sustainable income streams into the future related to what you're doing so that you can build in some resilience into the future. And the reason why this came to me, to be quite honest, is because I recently moved house. That's why I'm up living where I am at the moment on this very nice small holding. Through various circumstances we had to move, and I found that the conveyancer involved in the particular land transaction involved and the estate agent involved in the transaction involved didn't mention a very, very significant piece of tax opportunities that make a very big difference to the cash flow involved in the transaction. Now, of course, that's not their job. It's mine, I'm an accountant, and that's possibly why they didn't mention it. However, I get the feeling that there are a lot of estate agents out there and a lot of conveyancers out there who simply just doesn't twig that it might be an issue, and I thought it'd be useful to give you some red flags to look out for, to flag up, to say, there are some potential saving opportunities here for my clients, which then means potentially income earning opportunities for you. Now, in my particular circumstance, it made a difference of something like £17,000 to the transaction on the property. Oh my life, quite a lot of money. And it's all down to the stamp duty land tax involved. Okay? Now that automatically makes people go, scary, land tax is just horrid. And you're not tax advisors. That's the whole point. I'm not asking you to get involved in tax advice. I'm not asking you to get involved in any of that nonsense because that's not your area. You're not a specialist. You're not insured for it, yada, yada, yada. What I am wanting to do is to raise some of the red flags that you need to look for when you're dealing with a property transaction to say, this may be something where the client and I could do with some extra advice and could potentially save the client a stack of money, maybe a little bit of referral commission along the way. Thank you very much. And it's all to do with granny flats, annexes. Okay? And the reason why that's important is because the law around granny flats, the law around granny flats and annexes has changed quite a lot over the course of the last 5 years. In fact, it's moved practically every year. So, but what it means is that granny flats and annexes that are separate dwellings as far as the Inland Revenue is concerned, so they have their own separate front door or access that's separate to the main property, that have their own separate gas or electricity supply, or at least it can be managed and cut off separately, and where they are less than a third of the value of the overall property, so the main house and the annex and the grounds and all the rest of it. Okay, the annex is a third or less of the value of that. There is a massive, massive opportunity for the people involved, the buyers, to significantly reduce their stamp duty land tax. Now, this is an opportunity where it's very time limited. You can only go back and make any alterations or changes to your stamp duty, land tax return, your SDLT1 for 12 months. But at the moment, because things are a bit quiet, you've got the opportunity to potentially go through some of your transactions over the last year and say, have any of those involved granny flats or annexes? Just have a quick check. Were those granny flats or annex bits worth a third or less of the overall property? If they were, there is a potential for you to go back to the client and say, you bought that fabulous, wonderful house from it. You're really happy there. You settled in, yada, 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 yada. Actually, we've just had a chat with a colleague and there might be an opportunity for you to get a refund from HMRC on the purchase of that house. If there is, there may be an opportunity for us to have a quick chat and say potentially an opportunity for us all to do well. Your client to save money, you to make a bit of cash flow, me to make a bit of cash flow. Thank you very much. Everybody happy. If you want to have a chat about that and see how it might affect you and make life better for you, just give me a call. My contact details are in the various contact boxes around whichever side you're accessing this video on. And I look forward to hearing from you if that's of any particular interest to you. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye.